Hello, welcome to Lucy's Big Beautiful World of Painting. I have a really fun and different project today. Definitely beginners and even children. With a little bit of help from parents, even children can do this because I'm actually going to be using my fingers to do some 4-petal flowers. Now, I did this first example at home. I was just trying out something new, and I want to show you how I'm going to change it because I think it has a little bit too much going on there, but I really liked it. So that's why I'm doing it here for you today. So first, I want to show you that I'm using this acrylic primed cotton red label canvas from Frederick's. Very, very sturdy canvas. So you can use all mediums on this, pouring everything. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that before I start. And the first thing I'm going to be doing, since I just want to jump right in because I have a lot to show you, is I'm going to be painting this canvas with the DecoArt Americana Decore Satin Enamels, okay? This is a regular furniture paint, cabinet paint, but you can use it on your projects for canvas, anything you want to do. So I want to just show you how first I'm putting on the gold leaf, and then I'm going to go on with a project that's already kind of done, so this way I can move ahead to show you how I did the rest of it. So this is first, okay? A really great product. And here we go. I am using the 3/4 brush from Traditions, DecoArt brush. And what I did was I poured the paint in just a dish, just to make it easier for me, because for now, I just have to cover this canvas. Oops, I'm moving already there. And that's okay. This one, I just am going to cover it real fast, okay? At home, you'll take your time. I have a little bit of dry paint in there. That's okay. I'm just gonna wipe it on a paper towel. That's my fault, maybe, for not closing it up well enough when I did my last project. And you can see, look at how nice this paint goes on, all right? And it's going to dry pretty fast besides, so you don't have to wait for it to dry. And this is great, like I said, wood, furniture, cabinets, comes in a lot of different colors, okay? This is a really, really pretty color, and I'm gonna tell you that color in 1 second, because I forgot to tell you what color I was using there. They'll run along the bottom of the screen also. But let me look at the top of this because, sorry, I forgot. And this one is called Honey Gold, okay? So just in case you want to look this one up to order, Honey Gold. Very, very pretty color, all right? So I'm just putting this on fairly thick. I want to get in the groove of those canvas. And almost done. Then I'm going to show you how to put that gold leaf on. Now, gold leaf is not easy to work with. Going to warn you ahead of time, not easy. It flies around, okay? If it gets stuck on anything, you really can't get it off. Very, very hard to get it off. So if you have any, good furniture around and you don't want gold leaf stuck to it, make sure you cover it so it doesn't get on there. For example, if I get a bit of that on my easel, it's gonna be staying there, all right? Anything that you get it on, very difficult to get it off. However, that is a benefit for a lot of projects because you know that if you're doing your furniture or anything that you're doing your project, that's not coming off, okay? I'm not gonna bother painting the sides of my canvas, okay? This is a wrapped canvas, so it does have the sides on it, because this is just for the quick example before I go on to my permanent one. So I'm just gonna move this paint out of the way, okay? I'm gonna pick up the gold leaf. Now, the gold leaf comes like this, very, very thin sheets between paper, okay? I also use this in resin projects where you just can crumble it up in the resin. It's beautiful. So what I did with this is I just took pieces of it, okay? You can see I'm just trying to pick it up. It's a little difficult. I'm just gonna do a little bit of it, and I'm just tearing it right now very carefully. All right, I'm just gonna move it over. And all I'm gonna do is, as soon as I get near here, it's gonna stick. All right, see, it's already sticking to me. I'm just sticking a couple pieces on there. I don't care if it's sticking out now, and here's why. I'm taking a soft mop brush, all right, and I'm just going to push it on. All right, the other way you could do it is you could just do it with your finger, but then of course, oh, I didn't stick to my finger. It will stick to your finger. Now, since this paint is wet, it's going to stick even quicker and better. Now watch what I do. I can actually move some of this over and it's gonna spread it out, okay? But see, the paint was a little too wet, so what happens now is that it's coming off on the gold. That's okay, still gonna look nice, all right? So this brush, you would just wipe off and then wash really well because you'll see it'll get in there. Now you see how it comes off? There's little tiny flakes flying around. That's what you have to be careful for. All right, so let me take another piece. I'm gonna leave it over here. Now I don't want square edges on it, but just for this example, I'm not gonna worry about it, okay? I just wanna show you how I'm doing it. So notice, just sticking it on, random. For this project, just doing a random, no pattern actually, just very random. I can push it like this, and you can see, that's it. That is now permanent. See, I picked up that paint, got some paint in there, that's okay. Now I'm rubbing and some of it's coming off. So it's a little tricky. Now it's on me. So I'm just taking a wet wipe, and I'm gonna get that off there. And even that is hard to get off. You get it on your fingernails, they're covered. So it's not a bad thing for those of you that like to do your own nails, okay? It's a lot of fun though, but at home you'll take your time. So let me just stick another couple pieces here. Now up here is a little drier, okay? So it is a little drier already. And I could just go back and pat it in there. So look how cool that looks, okay? So I know you can think of holiday projects that you can do with this gold leaf. The gold leaf also comes in like silver and I think a rose gold, which is very pretty, okay? So that's it. I'm not gonna get crazy now with that gold leaf. I wanted to show you how I applied it. Now, after I would put all my gold leaf on, all right, and let it dry, even like 10 minutes is good enough. You can go right on to the rest of the project. There's a little piece there. I'm gonna get rid of that while I can. It's a little dangerous, this gold leaf, okay? You can see it kind of flies and sticks around. Okay, so this is a triple thick, it's called Brilliant Brush On Gloss Glaze. What I did was I just brushed this on, that's it. And I'm gonna go on to show you what I did. First, I'm gonna cover up this gold leaf. This way I don't have to worry about that flying around. Move that over to the side. So here's what I did at home. Now you're gonna see, I'm gonna move it around. Take a look at this triple thick. I put the triple thick on and let it dry, all right? So now, what's happening is this has a nice glossy glaze on it, and the DecoArt paint will go right on top of this, okay? So that's fun. You actually can do the varnish and then paint, all right? So I put the triple thick on here, and this has it on, all right? You can see how beautiful that is. Now, you don't want to use any other kind of varnish, especially not in your house, because of the smell. This has very, very little smell, and the little bit that you can, it's gone in a minute. So this is safe to use inside the house, okay? So just wanted to show you that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this one out of the way now, and I'm going to start to paint on top of it. So I'll just move that down and move this one up. I wanted to at least show you how I did that, all right? So it doesn't matter which is the top or which is the bottom, whichever you decide, all right? Now, I have some of the lines I was telling you with the square edges, and I like the way it looks like this better, but it's no problem. Where you see something you don't like, just paint the leaf over it. Now, when I look at my painting that I did before, what I see is a little bit too much flowers, the leaves are a little bit too big, okay? So, and that's what's good about doing an example on an inexpensive canvas board, because then when you do it again, you can do it not necessarily better, but the way that you like it better, okay? So the last time I used the big brush, the 3/4, now I'm gonna try to use a smaller number 10. If it's too small, I can always go back, okay? There's no problem there. So what I wanna do is I'm having a little trouble getting this stuck up there, all right? I'm going to go right into the black because I wanna start getting my long leaves on. And first, what I want to do is I'm just going to make like a stem, okay? And I'm going to show you how I'm doing this stem. Oh, I had to hold my breath there for a second. I had to get that straight. Well, not necessarily straight, but I didn't want to push too hard. So what I did was I made a chisel edge. So you can see flat on both sides. This here would be considered the chisel edge. I'm just coming in the side of the paint, all right? So let me lift this up and just show you. I'm only using 3 colors, so it's very easy. And I'm just making the chisel edge this way, okay? So that paint is really on that brush really well now. And I'm gonna go over, I just wanted to be a little blacker, just so you can see it better. There we go, okay? So that's just one stem for now, just to start. Now, what I want to do is add those leaves on the bottom. And I might have made this a little bit too low, but I think we'll just leave it. So I'm going to start maybe here, and I want to move my hand all the way up the brush so you can see better. And on the chisel edge, and I'm pushing, 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 and then I'm lifting up, okay? That's hard to do slow. Sometimes you're better off doing it faster. So I'm going to try to do it a little faster, but I think you might get the idea of it. There we go. Okay? So when I did my other painting, the first one, I didn't like that the leaves were so big and so wide. So all I did was I came down in size on my brush. So that one I pushed just as hard as I'm pushing on this brush, but since this brush is so much smaller, they're coming out more dainty, I guess. And you can see that angle was a much better angle for me. I like the way that leaf came out. And that's okay. Like I said, if I don't like certain parts of certain leaves, no problem. I'll just finger paint the flower over it. All right? That's what this is, the fun of this. So I maybe have a branch coming out here. I'm just going to even my brush out again. There's another branch coming out. And I'm going to start right on the branch and pull. So hopefully you saw that one really well. All right. You can see that I'm holding the brush up on the chisel edge and then starting to push, 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 then lifting it back up to the chisel edge. All right. And I think I'll do another one maybe going this way. So this one, maybe the angle you won't be able to see well, but I'm just kind of following the flow of the way I think this may go. All right, and I can try to go over again. It's harder as a beginner to go over things twice. Even as an experienced painter, it's hard to go over twice. All right, I'm going to keep showing you these leaves because they are a little tricky. I've been doing it for years. I might be making it look a little easy, but these leaves are not that easy. However, if you're doing it with kids, let them sit and practice. They will be able to do it. And even if they don't come out well, they'll still be able to see it's a leaf and they'll be happy with it, all right? So I'm gonna come up here, because this is where I started, and get a couple of leaves in here. All right, so see, I pulled that down. This is really the way I wanted it. Like I said, from this angle, it's a little difficult, but I'm getting there. And I got stuck on the top a little bit. That's okay. I'm just going to pull it right out. All right. So now this is coming out. In my opinion, it looks a little better already than the other one. All right. I wasn't pleased, like I said, with the thickness of those leaves, with their angles and all. I wanted it kind of flowing down, and I noticed that they were kind of sticking out, my leaves, to the sides more. So now that I did that one, I'm happy with how this one's coming out. So now I'm doing this on a weird angle, but I want to make sure you can see it. So here I go, pulling down. All right. These also are the same leaves we use for bamboo. All right. So if you want to paint bamboo, same type of leaves. I'm pushing, 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 pulling down. All right. So you can see I'm not going really fast, but I am not going that slow either, because if I do, then it actually is a little harder and you kind of move a little more. Now I'm going to do this on the opposite angle, so you won't want to do that at home at this angle, all right? What you want to do is, if you're trying to get a certain angle, don't try to do it upside down and backwards like I do, all right? Your best bet is to actually remove your canvas and turn it. Turn it the way your hand is more natural to do the stroke. As you get more experienced, then you'll be able to do it upside down, backwards, however. But when you're first starting, just go the way your stroke, your hand, it feels more comfortable. All right, that's very important. I always tell my students that in classes. Make sure that you just pick the canvas up and turn it. That's the easiest way to do it. So I think I am going to put some more down here, just at the end of there, because I kind of felt that was kind of sticking out. So that's what I mean. After you take a step back and you look and you can kind of base it better, you know, what you feel it needs and where, all right? So let me take a look. I got 3, I got 5 right there. I may actually leave it with 5 and make it look a little bit daintier. All right, I kind of like the way that looks. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to go on to the flowers. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub my brush in here a little. Let me just tell you again, as a beginner, one of the biggest mistakes with brushes is you don't get the paint out of the ferrule. Now, I don't know if we can zoom in a little, and you can see this paint in here is in the ferrule, okay? That's a no-no. If that dries in there, it will ruin the brush. The best thing to do is to get a brush basin that has the ridges on the bottom, and we'll see if you can hear it. If you heard that, it's just the noise of the brush rubbing the ferrule against the grain, the little gritting it has in the bottom, okay? Then you can see if it's out, all right? And I can see now that's a clean brush. So just rub it back and forth a few more times, pat it dry, and that's it. You know, the brushes are expensive. I mean, not really expensive, they're affordable, but you definitely want to get as much use out of them as you can. So make sure you wash your brushes and keep them, you know, with a chisel edge. Just go like this, and then you'll just keep it just like that, and they'll last you for years, all right? Now, this is fun. So I talked a minute, and hopefully now my black paint is drying, so I can start to put some little flowers on. And if it's not, what's gonna happen is it will pick up some black. Not a big deal. You just go back over and put white after it dries again. Now, what I have is, I just have a little puddle of titanium white, okay? And I neglected to say before, I'm using the Americana premium line, which comes in a tube, all right? It's a nice thick paint. You can use medium in it to thin it if you have to, even a little water, okay, since it's acrylic. Now, I have a nice little puddle of paint, and all I'm doing is putting it on my finger, all right? And I'm going to start with the flowers. There's one petal. There's another petal. There's another petal. And another petal. That's it. There's your finger painted 4-petal flower. Almost didn't get that out. Finger painted 4-petal flower. That's a real tongue twister there. Now, what you'll do is, and like I said, this is the fun part for children also, all right, is children just take the paint and stick it on. Really, that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing it in the shape of 4 petals. It doesn't matter if it doesn't equal in the middle. Doesn't make a difference. This is just a fun painting, and you can do flowers with the paintbrush too. And if I have a little time, I can show you that too. All right. I just thought this is pretty fun, and it's showing how you can use a finger instead of a paintbrush. All right. The other thing you can do with these 4-petal flowers is you can use a little knife, okay? It will change the look, and what'll happen is you'll have the pointy edge, all right? So it will change the look from that roundness to the pointiness, all right? So let me get some on here, and it's okay if they overlap, all right? No big deal if they overlap. The petals, it actually looks pretty good because then it'll look like clusters. You like the idea of having clusters, all right? Let's see. So now I'm just kind of randomly picking some spots for these, and I got 4 petals out of one finger dip. All right, let's go back up. So I got to admit, this is fun. All right, and like I said, not just for children, but adults too. All right, there we go. Keep getting some flowers on. So you could see on my last painting, my original one, I put a whole ton on there. So this one, of course, I'm not going to have time to put them on, but I also really don't want to put that many on. All right? I just want them to be here and there. All right, so you can see I'm just turning my finger back and forth, and there we go. Okay, so we're starting to get there already. Once you put that white on, it really brightens everything up. I like the idea of putting this in a white frame, even a red frame. All right. So this, like I said, this is fun. On my bottom of my original painting, I have a couple of little petals that are kind of falling down like this. okay? So I just put a few on there, 3, just to show that it's kind of falling down. I think I want to put a little bit more here. All right, I'm going to step back. I like the way that looks. It's starting to look nicer. And I think I need a little bit more up here. So like I said, if you want to have a whole ton of these little flowers all over, it's up to you. But this is definitely a lot of fun. All right, let's see. Let me take a peek how that looks. And I keep saying I'm not putting that many, but you know what? I think it needs just still a little bit more. So I'm trying to see how many sections. Now, when I do these sections, I'm trying to put them in groups of uneven numbers. And the reason why is when you put them in even numbers, when the viewer is looking at it, their eye will start to group things together, and they're going to focus on places that have uneven numbers. Even numbers, I'm sorry. So the uneven numbers makes the viewer's eye kind of look all over the painting rather than focusing onto one spot. I don't really have a focal point for this painting because it has so much going on, you know, especially with the gold. So back here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I would put another one over here, make that 7. All right, that came out all crooked. So that's okay. I can make those leaves a little bigger. Petals, sorry. I keep saying petals, leaves. You know what I mean though? All right, I have 3, and if I have 5 here, I'd have to put 7. So I'll go back up and put the 7. Let's see, all right, 6, and let me have one come over here, a little closer. I want it to look like a little cluster. I like the idea of having clusters, okay? I think that looks pretty good. I still think it might need a little more, maybe even another couple of leaves. But let's just leave it like that for now, okay? I'm just gonna wipe off this paint from my finger. Get that off. I wanna show you how I dot these middles. Very easy. I'm just going to take the back of the brush here, and all I'm going to do is dip it in the paint. And it's just dipping and dotting, that's it. So let me start right down here in this middle one and just dotting it. Now, if you want a smaller dot, get a smaller brush, okay? I like the idea of having that big dot back there, that little red one there, okay? So now I'm just going in the middle. I picked up some white, that's okay, because all I have to do is go back here and wipe it off. Now, I'm gonna try a different brush, okay? And I'll show you how you could just keep changing it. And I pushed harder on that so it looks like the same as the other ones. Usually when you have a smaller brush, then your dots will come out smaller. Now let me show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna anchor myself a little bit because I see them a little wobbly, and there we go. My paint already, I didn't put enough. So let me go back, but I'm anchoring. This way I have a little bit more control of the brush. A lot of artists use what's called a maul stick, and that's a stick that you put on the top and it goes across and you can anchor yourself on it. I'm just kind of anchoring myself a little bit using my other arm. Okay, again, I'm going back, dipping. Oops, got a little dip on there. Little dip too much, just gonna wipe it off, all right? Gonna fold that up because I'm very good at making a mess. And there's a little dip. There's a little dip. All right, so this is so much fun. It makes you want to do more flowers just to put the middles on. It is a lot of fun. So again, see, take a peek. That's all I have. I have some red on the back there. Now, I want you to think of all the different colors you can do this in. You can certainly make this a holiday painting just by adding some green, changing those leaves. They don't have to be black. I just like the idea of having the gold and the black and the white. So this is 3 colors only, not including the gold for the background, okay? Now, see these little 3 I have hanging off there? Very simple. I'm just going to come here and put a little dot at the end, okay? So that is actually going to make it look like they're kind of just falling off, okay? So this is a whimsical painting, so nothing has to be accurate. All right, it's just, I wanted to give you this idea on how to use the gold leaf and how to make something really pretty, really bright It's great for decoration, you know, if you don't want to put something a little this, you know, this kind of fancy in your house. I have a couple minutes more. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to make this little pile of 3, 5. Okay, oh, got a little hair on there. We'll get rid of that. Again, sticking my finger in there. And let's see, I think I'm going to move one over here. I'm going to overlap a little bit. Make it look like a little cluster. All right, and let's get another one on there. I'm actually pushing a little harder, so that one's going to come out a little bit bigger. Now, these are the 4-petal flowers. Many of you have probably seen my other shows that I do the 5-petal flowers. Okay, the 5-petal flowers I do with a brush, and that's a little different. So look up that show for my and see my other flower shows where I teach you the 5-petal flowers with a brush. That's fun too. That's a little more difficult for children. So no matter what, you need a little practice with that one. All right, let me take a peek and see. I'm going to stand back, take a peek, see if I need anything else. And I actually think that that is pretty good. I like it better than my first one because I do like the idea of having it be a little less, okay? So like I said, you're going to decide if you want more or less in your painting. And at home, you'll take your time and you'll get your little flowers exactly the way you want them, all right? Think about all the other colors you could do with this. Like I said before, lots of other colors. What I'd like to do last, let's see. I don't have my script liner, but when you put your name on the bottom, you can do it in red. I did it in red. I'm just going to take a flat brush, and I'm just going to, instead of putting my whole name, I'm just using a flat brush and putting my initials on this time, okay? And I like the idea of that looking like that. So I'm just putting my initials on the bottom. Make sure you always sign your painting. Look up my other shows where I teach how to use a script liner to sign, okay? So let's see. I have like 1 more minute. So you know what? With my 1 minute, I think I'm going to put in a couple more flowers right down here. There we go. And like I said again, 3. So see how I can go back and forth? Just because it's almost done, you could look at it again and you can say, no, you know what? I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, of course, once you put it on there, that's it. So keep taking a look. So now I have 3. So I have my flowers in uneven amounts. All right, much better. And like I said, I like that much better. I'm just going to go back to my red again, dot my middles, and that's going to be it for this painting. Okay, so I think that that is it for this one. So I hope that you like this, this simple painting. I hope you'll get yourself some gold leaf and give it a try. You'd be surprised what you can put it on, all right? And make sure you look up DecoArt products, and they're easy to find. I mean, you could go to Hobby Lobby, even Home Depot now has some. A lot of, most of the local craft stores have it. So go ahead and get yourself some products. You don't need a lot of colors to get started, and you'll be on your way. So thanks for tuning in. Please come back and see my other shows, and I appreciate you watching.